Good morning, everyone. It's Nell at yellowhousecrafts, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful sunny Sunday morning. It's very, very lovely outside. We are just taking it easy, getting ready to do church. We are not attending church in person yet. Our church is holding some services, some socially distanced services, but we just don't feel comfortable trying to take our kids yet, trying to force them to wear a mask for an hour. It's just not going to work. So we are still holding our own little worship devotional service here in our home. So that's been kind of nice, actually. I've really enjoyed that. But anyway, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I want to start off by saying thank you all for your lovely and such kind responses to my video last week. That was very different, but I'm glad it was helpful and inspirational for some of you. I am going to work on the lighting. I'm going to try and get the lighting better so that I can do more tutorial type videos in the future, but just thank you for your kind words. I'm glad that was helpful. And we might, kit something up together again in the future. Who knows? I have some notes over here, so if I glance over here, I'm just checking my notes. I want to make sure that I get everything. Two little items of note. The first is that the Missouri State Fair has officially decided not to accept entries in any categories other than the youth livestock competitions, so that the 4-H and the FFA kids and those who have prepared livestock all year to show at the fair can still do so, but they've decided to not have any other competitions, which is a change from about a month ago when they announced they were going to hold the competitions. Regardless, I'm glad that they made the decision that's probably best and safest for everyone, but that means no state fair this year. I'm a little bit bummed. I've been finishing so many things. It would have been nice to enter something, but I'll just save it for next year. And then the other thing is I got a notification. Someone commented in my last video that in her Walmart, in the back to school section, she found these Snapware containers that I use for my thread storage. Now, I went and looked at my Walmart and I didn't see them, but it's probably a regional thing. So if you have been looking for those Snapware containers and you have a Walmart near you and you feel comfortable going to Walmart, I would go check and see if you can find them in the back to school section. I can't confirm that this is true or not, but she said that they had them in her Walmart in the back to school section. So worth checking out if you wanted some of those. And then the last little notice that I just wanted to make you aware of, I had someone ask me if, this is so funny, but she asked me if I would create on my Amazon store, I have the 3 categories right now, like finishing, accessories, stitching stuff, and then there's one more. Oh, storage, like craft storage and organization. She asked if I would just put a category of like some of my favorite finds from Amazon. I said sure. So I put a few things on there. Right now there's some very random things like car seat covers that we purchased for when we fly on airplanes and we have to check our kids' car seats and booster seats. Those car seat covers have saved our bacon, have really protected our kids' car seats from dirt and dust and from getting banged up. We've had some bad experiences with car seats or strollers getting checked at the airport to go under the airplane in the baggage compartment and coming back like pieces broken off. I mean, it's not always the gentlest ride, and so we purchased those bags and they've been so great, and those we got on Amazon, so I put those on there if you have small kids and are planning to fly anytime soon. And then I put just some of my favorite sunscreen, which comes from Japan. It's a little bit expensive, but it is the best sunscreen ever. It doesn't leave your skin feeling slick or sunscreen-y. It absorbs in completely and it really works. So anyway, I put that on there. And then my favorite lotion, because I have dry skin, and so I put that on there. I don't know what else to put on it. It's such a random assortment of things. But regardless, if I, get something from Amazon and I love it, then I'll add it to that list so that you guys can find it. So there you go. All right, let's get into cross stitching. I have 4 fully finished items to show you, 2 of which you've already seen if you follow me on Instagram, but there's 2 more that you haven't seen yet. And then I also have a little craft project that I worked on this week as a basket filler, and so some of you might be interested in this for your decorating, but let's get right into it. The first one, which you did see already, is my Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month for July. I did add something to this since you saw it on Instagram, but here it is. This is July, and yeah, it's just stuck with magnets, as always, so that you can move it around and change it out however you want to. The one thing that I altered on this since I posted on Instagram, when I did this big bow, this is a much bigger bow than I usually do, and it was a little much for me, but I just went for it because I had this great ribbon that I really wanted to use. It didn't have this center loop when I first posted it. It just had these 2 loops, and I didn't love it. As I was walking past it every day, I felt like it looked a little bit like bunny ears. It was just too big, and there was too much empty space up here, and I didn't like it. So I went ahead and hot glued an extra loop in the center to round it out and make it look less like bunny ears, and now I like it much better. But regardless, this is July. This is a lot bigger of a bow than I normally do, but it was fun. Just so you can see, I did these little white pearls and some boxwood. These little blue balls are from Hobby Lobby, and these little small red roses are also from Hobby Lobby. I think these pearls were from Joann's in their spring floral. So I did some of those little sprays on the sides, and then the big bow, and then a smaller white bow, and then a little blue ribbon flower with a covered button in the center. And that's July, and I think it's really pretty. It's crooked. Let's fix it. There we go. It's a little better. That's July, and yeah, I quite love it. So that I post on Instagram, but it didn't have that loop yet because I just recently added that. We're never satisfied, are we? We're always seeking greater perfection. But anyway, so that was the first fully finished object. The second one that I posted this week on my Instagram is my hands-on design, a year in chalk. This is also July, and it's red, white, and barbecue. I stitched this up about 2 weeks ago. It took me about 2 days to stitch the whole thing because it's very, very small. And then I finished it like I finished the rest of these on just mounting it with one piece of fabric behind it. And then I carried on the same type of finish I've done with all of them, with just a white grosgrain bow and a little button. It's a little red strawberry that I thought was so cute. And then just some of these pretty white, I don't think they're baby's breath, but they kind of look like baby's breath. Regardless, just pretty little white floral. So really simple and elegant, and yeah, and it just, the easel stands, and it stands on a little side table that we have, and I just love it. So that was my second fully finished object. It was July Finish Palooza at my house in the last 2 weeks. The next one, we'll do this one. This one's a little bit different in color. This one is the July Wordplay by Brenda Gervais, and you guys didn't know I was working on this. I hadn't planned to work on this, but I was finishing all these other July things, and I thought, you know what, I just want to get all of my July stuff done. So I pulled it out, kitted it up quick with some colors that I liked, and I did July's Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. Much brighter than hers is, but keeping with the same colors. So I'll just put it up here. A Day at the Beach, Stars and Stripes, what does that say? Parade, July. This one says fireworks, shells, and sunshine. And it's a little bit of an aquatic or a nautical kind of July theme. I brightened up the colors. I love like the Mer King over here sitting on a whale. So that is my July Wordplay by Brenda Gervais, and you can see how I finished it. This is on my antique slate. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way. I think this is the best side to hold it on my antique slate, and again, I just did 2 bows, a burlap bow and then this beautiful kind of vintage looking striped bow. And then I did some sprays on the sides with, we've got some blue like berries, more boxwood, yellow roses and kind of a bright red-orange carnation type thing. Same on this side with those blueberries. And then I just put a little mini white sunflower in the center. And I really like it. I think it's really sweet. It's a different color scheme than most of my July stuff, which I kind of like. I like that it brings in a little bit of yellow and orange and some of those bright summery colors. So that is Brenda Gervais Wordplay July. And then, let's see, where shall I put this? Right there. My last one is my Lizzie Kate Blocks with Charm. This one also you didn't know I was going to work on, and neither did I until I decided to just go ahead and do it. And this is my July Blocks with Charm. Finished on my little milk jug that I got from Hobby Lobby that you guys have seen. This is, I think, the first one of these that you've seen fully finished. And so here it is. So let's pull that off. Magnets. The actual pattern, the actual pattern, you can see, I stuck very close to the called for colors, but chose my own. Again, there's a little seashell charm right there, which is why they're blocks with charm, because they all have a little charm. Then I finished it on a double mat. I did the first one with this stars and stripes fabric, and then I did this dark navy polka dot, like a mini polka dot. And this just magnetizes right onto the milk jug. And then for the spray, I did some red berries, these little blue roses from Hobby Lobby, and some of these little white, I think these are so pretty, little white flowers. And then I did kind of it's not really a burlap bow, but a natural kind of colored bow, and then a red bow, and then a covered button in that blue micro polka dot. And I think it's really pretty. It's really elegant looking, this one especially. And so this one is sitting on top of a bookcase next to a vintage picnic basket, and yeah, I really like it. So those were my 4 July finishes. Oh, and this, of course, as with all my things, is attached with magnets. There's 2 magnets on there, so it can just magnetize right onto the top, and I can change it out with the months. So that those were all of my July fully finished objects. I did 4, and yeah, so that was really fun. Then I also did, oh, there's a little cardinal hopping around on my grass in my backyard. They're so pretty. It's just the most beautiful birds. I also did a little craft, and I wanted to show you this because I'm sure there are some of you who would like to do this. It was the easiest, most simple craft ever. It took half an hour to make all of these. I mean, they were super quick. All you need is fabric in an assortment that matches the decor that you want. So I chose, I think, 5 different fabrics that I had scraps of or pieces of lying around. I didn't buy anything for this. The only thing I bought is you do need a pinking rotary cutter blade. So your rotary blades, they're normally just straight, but you can buy them in like a pinking where they do a zigzag cut, and you'll see why. It's so that you don't have to worry about edges fraying. And I made, let's turn this way now, I made some little fabric covered balls to use as a basket filler. Look at how cute they turned out. They're in an assortment of sizes, and I'll just show you really quick. But these are just little fabric covered balls, and they are so easy. So I have added to my Amazon shop in the finishing materials, I have added pinking blades for a rotary cutter, as well as an assortment of sizes of the styrofoam balls. You can buy these by the hundreds. I found a pack, I think, of 25 in all different sizes, which is probably more manageable because you don't need hundreds of these. But all you do, it's so simple. You take your fabric, so this is one of the fabrics that I used. You take your fabric and you fold it into a diagonal. You take one corner and you fold it up the selvage. Just basically you're making a triangle with your fabric, and then you cut along the long edge. And what this does is it cuts on the bias. And the reason you want to cut your fabric strips on the bias is so that they stretch a little bit and they shape around the ball. Because if you can imagine, if you have a straight strip of fabric and you try to wrap it around a curved surface, the center of it will lie flush, but the edges will be lifted. Do you see what I'm saying? Can you kind of envision what I'm describing to you? If you cut your fabric on the bias, it stretches so that the center can lie flush, but the edges can lie flush against the ball as well. So all you do is you cut yourself bias strips of fabric, and I used the pinking edge. I don't know if you can, there you go, you can see right there. I used a pinking blade so that, again, I wouldn't have to worry about any sort of like little, even though you're cutting on the bias and it won't really fray, you might get little threads shooting off in different directions, and I found cutting it with the pinking blade kind of helped with that. All you do is you cut strips of fabric. I went for about 1 inch thick, especially with the bigger balls. When I was doing these smaller balls, I went for 3/4 of an inch, sometimes even down to 1/2 inch wide. And you just dab a bit of that Aleene's glue to the end of one strip, glue it to your ball, and you just start wrapping. And you kind of shape it and change directions, and then when you finish it, you glue the end down, start another piece, glue the end down, and start wrapping again. And it's like almost like you were wrapping a ball of yarn, where you want to keep changing directions until all of the styrofoam is covered. And then literally, I'll show you the end, literally I just glued, you can hardly see it. There's the edge. I glued the end of the last strip down, let it dry, and it's hardly visible at all. And now I have these little cute styrofoam balls. So I did 2 of this fabric, 1 large and 1 small. The only other one that I did 2 of was this homespun. I did 2 of this like homespun, maroon and kind of natural color, 1 large or 1 medium and 1 small. And then I did a large with these stars. I did 2 more medium sizes in that navy blue micro polka dot and this like stripe that coordinates with this one. These came in the same fabric line. And then the last one I did is that little striped fabric you saw on my Lizzie Kate finish. So when all is said and done, I have all of these little fabric covered balls to use as a basket filler. And the reason I want these is I'm going to show you in a minute something that I'm going to work on finishing this week. I don't have a basket for them yet. I'm going to try and find myself a small wire basket that I will put these in, and then I can set my flapjack pillow from my Around the Holidays series by Hands-On Design, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this way you can make these in all different types of, if you've got fabric scraps lying around, it's a great use of fabric scraps, and you can change them out by the season. So this is kind of my patriotic basket filler balls, and they were so fast. Literally cut some quick strips. They don't have to be perfect, just on the bias, and glue and stick. No sewing required, really inexpensive materials. I mean, the most expensive thing I bought was I mean, I had all the fabric. I didn't have to buy any fabric. The styrofoam balls are very, very inexpensive. The only thing I had to buy was the pinking blade, which I bought at a craft store, which was a mistake because I found on Amazon that you can buy like 10 pinking blades for the cost of the one that I bought at the craft store. So I put that in my Amazon shop for you. But anyway, regardless, I just think they're so cute. So that's the basket filler. And that will be to set my little pillow in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So those were all my finishes. That was really fun. I had one new start that I'm sure you all knew was coming because you watched me kit it up, and that was my September wordplay by Brenda Gervais. Glare, there it is. So you saw this in my video last week when I kitted up, so I'm not going to show you the threads because you just saw them, but here's as far as I've gotten. I didn't even take it off my Q-snap. Sorry for the needle minder. Move it up. There it is. That's as far as I've gotten. This is kind of the center of the chart, and so I'm moving this way, and this is the far right edge. So all I have is the little blackboard and 2 more people right here. And then I'll work down and then back over. So I only have maybe 2 or 3 more days on this and it'll be done. But yeah, I'm really liking the colors. I think the colors that I picked are working beautifully. I love this prim russet, this kind of orange, rusty orange color. It's just gorgeous. It's so, so pretty. That's a Victorian motto thread, prim russet. But anyway, so that was my one new start. My finishing took up most of my time this week. I didn't do as much stitching because I spent so much time finishing things and making those cute little balls and just having fun. But I do plan to do more stitching in the next little while. So let's talk really quickly about some plans. I want to finish these 3 little flapjack pillows, and I'll show you. The reason I made all those little styrofoam fabric covered balls is because I'm going to finish Where Liberty Dwells. I know July is almost over, but we're patriotic all year round. Where Liberty Dwells, and the fabric I chose for it is that same floral fabric that I chose for some of those balls, which is why it's going to coordinate. So this is going to be the backing fabric for this one, and I think that looks so good together. And then I've decided to put around the edge of all of these in this series some jumbo rickrack so that it will poke up around. So if you can imagine, pretend this is the pillow. This has more border on it than the pillow actually will have, but all around the edge of the pillow in the seam will be little rickrack poking up. It's gonna be so cute. So anyway, I have the backing fabric and the red rickrack that I'm gonna use for that one. And then while I'm finishing that one, I may as well finish the other 2 of these that I have done. So we also have Live Within Your Harvest that I'm gonna do, and I chose this red chicken fabric to be the backing of this one, and then the rickrack that I'm going to use is this bright kind of gold yellow for Live Within Your Harvest. So that will be the next little flapjack pillow. And then the last one is Put on the Hat, and I chose this adorable jack-o'-lantern fabric. It's gonna look so cute on the back. And then for this one we're gonna use black rickrack around the edges. So I'm gonna be working on finishing all 3 of those probably this week. I don't think they will be very difficult. I don't think they'll take very long. Yeah, and then I can put, then when I find a cute little wire basket, I can put all of my little basket filler balls in the basket and set my little Where Liberty Dwells flapjack pillow on top. And it's gonna be so cute. So that's a plan to do some finishing of those pillows. I gotta pull out the sewing machine. Then as far as stitching goes, I do have some plans, things I want to work on. So let's just talk about them quick. First, I want to get back to this one. I want to get back to Star Spangled Swine Farm. I'm so close to getting a finish on this, and I would love to get it done and possibly work on the other 2 in the pattern. I don't know yet, but I would love to get back to that. I took kind of a break from my Stitch Mania stitching when I was working on getting all these July things finished, but I'd like to get back to them and finish some more of my Stitch Mania stuff. Just as a reminder, this is where I got to on Star Spangled Swine Farm, so not a whole lot left. If I put 3 or 4 solid days of work in this, it would be done. So I'd like to get back to that one. I would like to get back to, I think the reason why I'm wanting to do some of these patriotic things is because I'm still in the mood for patriotic, and I'm starting to feel the call of like fall and Halloween and even Christmas stitching, and I'm feeling a little bit like I need to get as much done on my patriotic stuff as I can before I put it away till next spring, basically. So I'm feeling the urge to work on some of my patriotic stuff. So I also want to go back to my patriotic house trio. I finished the first house in the series, and I'm going to start one of these. I don't know which one yet, but you guys were very kind in telling me which one you thought I should do next. I think we were pretty evenly split. The gold house might have had a little bit of an edge, so maybe we'll do the gold house next. But pardon me. This is the first one of this 3, and I have a nice big piece here, so I will do the second one and the third one on this. This is, I should have told you, the Star Spangled Swine Farm is on 32 count charcoal linen by Zweigart. This one I am stitching on 32 count vintage, oh, it's vintage white something. Hold on. Oh, good, here, it's on here. 32 count vintage smoky white Belfast linen by Zweigart. And so it's just, you can't really see very well, but it's a little bit mottled with some gray, and it's really pretty. So I want to get back to that one. Then I've been feeling very guilty about not working on this. And I really wanted to try and get it done by this Christmas. We'll see. I need to get back to my son's stocking. Poor Jamie. He's the only one who doesn't have a stocking. He's 2 and he still doesn't have a stocking. He'll have one eventually, but if I can get it done this year, that would be great. I'm about halfway down. I'm to about here. The whole top half is done, and mostly, and even backstitch. So I just have the bottom half of the stocking to do, which, you know, shouldn't be too difficult, but I just need to put some solid work. The problem is that I don't enjoy stitching on this as much as I enjoy stitching on my other stuff, and so I don't feel as motivated to work on it. But I really need to. This is Christmas Eve Fun Stocking by Dimensions. It's a gold collection kit. I did not see this available on 123 Stitch, so I was not able to put a link to it. I don't know if it's out of print. You may still be able to find it if you search on eBay or something, but sorry, I've had this one for a number of years, so I couldn't tell you. But this is Christmas Eve Fun Stocking. It may just be that 123 Stitch doesn't have it right now. You may be able to find it at other cross-stitch stores just fine, but I don't know. And here is the stocking. There's that top half, all done. It says James. So I just need to do this part, but I've been feeling guilty about it, and I really am feeling like I need to get working on it again. So that is a plan of mine. And then these last plans are sort of, yeah, they are plans, but if they don't happen, it's okay. I am wanting to stitch up that other piece that I kitted with you last week, the September Lizzie Kate. And while I'm at it, why not go ahead and stitch up the September hands-on design so that maybe I can have some finishes for September to put up in my house. None of those take very long. All of these small little monthly series take me 2 to 3 days usually to stitch and finish. So, you know, if I just work on them, they'll get done. But also, let us not forget that there is a month in between July and September, and I could work on August stuff too. So I have pulled out, I haven't kitted them, but I've pulled the charts out and the fabric. The August hands-on design, the August Lizzie Kate, Blocks with Charm, and the August Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. So I may work on those as well, because it would be fun to have some August stuff to finish. But honestly, I'm not feeling like I have to finish all the months before, you know, they'll get done. If they don't get done this year, they'll get done next year. I was just really feeling July, so I did all the July stuff. Who knows what I'm gonna do? But those are all potential future plans. Excuse me. Oh, gracious. That was not very polite or ladylike. Let's get to haul. I do have a little bit of haul to show you. I purchased, I have one cross-stitch chart and some fabric that I got with it because you'll see it requires a specific fabric. And then I have some other things that I purchased. So the chart that I purchased while I was on 123 Stitch, looking around, I saw that they had this, and so I bought Long May She Wave by Stitching with the Housewives. This is Priscilla's patriotic piece that she designed. I think this is beautiful. I am not going to start this year. This is going to be a purchase that will go probably next year, maybe into Stitch Mania. But it's so cute. Look at that truck and the flags, and I just love this design. I think this is my favorite of her pieces that she's designed so far, and I went ahead and bought the fabric for it. My good old 32 count charcoal Belfast. the same fabric I use for all my chalkboard things. I'm really enjoying the chalkboard stitching, so that is the only like cross stitching haul that I have this week. Then I have some fabric, some finishing fabric. So about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks, I don't know, Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design posted that she has a new chart that's called Let's Talk Autumn. I haven't purchased it yet, but I love it. Again, it's a chalk themed piece that I'm probably gonna stitch on my charcoal Belfast, and it's a bunch of words about autumn done in autumny colors. It's kind of a typographic design. It's so pretty. Go look up Hands On Design, go to her blog or her Instagram and look it up. It's really beautiful. It's very autumny. And she announced that she had partnered with Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, which is in Utah somewhere, Centerville, Utah. So not too far away from 123 Stitch. And she had partnered with them to create a bundle of finishing fabric that you could use to finish it the way she did, with a quilted edge, kind of a quilted idea. And I loved the fabrics they chose. So I hopped on to Simple Stitches because I decided I wanted to buy the finishing bundle. And I chose the Hands On Design Fat Quarter Bundle number 1. They have a couple different versions of this bundle with different fabrics, but in the same color families. I chose bundle number 1, and this is it. So we have this one. I love this taupe stripe. We have an aqua gingham, so cute. We have this light green. They're flowers and leaves in kind of 2 tones of green. Sorry, my watch just dinged. We have a lime green chevron, a smaller gingham in orange colors, and then this orange floral. So the most beautiful little bundle of fabrics. This coordinates with Kathy's new piece. The fabric shop tied it up with this sweet little ribbon. Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. And so I went on specifically to purchase this to go with that pattern, even though I don't own it yet, but I will. Because I love Hands On Design. Anything Kathy makes, I love. So really beautiful fabric bundle. And while I was on there, I thought, well, let me look around. Let me see what else they have. And I found 2 more bundles that I absolutely loved. One was on clearance, which was nice. But the first one I'll show you, this was not on clearance, but I just thought this would be really useful to have since I'm doing all of these chalkboard themed pieces on this charcoal linen. They had a fabric bundle called the Charcoal Simple Bundle. And this is all fabrics in charcoal grays, which is gonna be perfect when I'm finishing all of these chalkboard themed things. So we have this white with kind of a charcoal gray dot. We have a charcoal, this is not black. It looks black, but it's definitely more like a chalkboard gray. Gingham, we have this cute little floral, it looks kind of retro. We've got other polka dots in gray with white polka dots. We've got this kind of, looks like linen, or, you know, a charcoal gray linen print. This cute one, and then a charcoal gray with black floral on it. So this is the charcoal bundle, and I thought this was perfect for finishing all of those chalkboard pieces. I'm absolutely positive I'm gonna use these fabrics. So that was the second bundle I bought. And then the last one I bought, this was more of an impulse buy. I didn't have any, like those other two bundles I bought specifically because I knew I would use them in finishing. This last one I bought simply because it was on clearance and I thought it was so pretty. This is their, and just so you know, these are not designer specific bundles. These are bundles that use fabrics from all kinds of different designers that Simple Stitches Fabric Shop curates themselves and puts together. This one they called their farmhouse bundle. It's so pretty. It was on clearance, and these corals and limes and blacks, I was just dying. My color self was just so pretty. This floral is gorgeous. gorgeous. Black with coral and lime. Then we have this like pale orange, like basket weave fabric. This dark coral orange with triangles. Got this lime almost chain, like almost looks like lace actually. Yeah, looks kind of like lace on lime. This lime with little plus signs or crosses. And we have a black polka dot and a black zigzag, a black chevron. And it's just so beautiful. I have no idea what I'm gonna use this fabric bundle for, but it was on clearance, so it was very inexpensive for how much fabric you got. And I just thought it was so beautiful, I couldn't help myself. So, Simple Stitches Fabric Shop, can't say enough about them. They were so sweet. When I received my order, they had tucked in a little free cut of fabric. I think it's probably a fat 1/8 or a fat 1/16 of fabric, and then they tucked their business card into it. So Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. It's simplestitchesfabricshop.com, and I'll link it in my description box below if you want to go, but it just says thank you for supporting our family-run shop. They are a small family-run business in Utah, so if you're all about supporting small and local businesses, give them a look. They are so sweet. They have the most darling fat quarter bundles. They kind of specialize in fat quarter bundles, and that's mostly what they have. They do have some quilt kits. They have, I want all of them. They have pillowcase kits for all different seasons, so you can make your kids like seasonal pillowcases. 100% I am going to do that at some point because that's so up my alley. But just adorable, really beautifully curated bundles. Some of their bundles, these simple bundles like I bought, they curate themselves. They also do have fat quarter bundles of entire lines by one specific designer. So if there's a specific Christmas print by a certain designer that you just love, check them out. I'm sure they have a bundle of all of the fabrics so you can buy them. I will 100% be buying from them again. The prices were really reasonable. The fabrics were gorgeous, and they were just so lovely. They sent me such a nice email after I ordered. Can't say enough good things. So that is Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. Simple Stitches Fabric Shop. And I'll link them down below so you can check them out if you want to buy. Oh, look at those colors. Like, seriously, could you die? Oh boy. I need another place to shop like I need a hole in the head, but just come on. I mean, how can you not? Okay, that was all my purchasing. That's all I've got to show you that I bought or that I worked on. I do have one thing I want to show you though. I got an email from a subscriber who had been watching my videos, and she saw a couple videos ago when I showed you those new drawn thread patterns that I purchased, and she said that she has had some drawn thread stuff in her stash for years, and she, you know, they're really beautiful, but she doesn't think she will ever stitch them, and would I like them? I said, of course, but only if you're absolutely sure you're not going to want to stitch them. Her name is Nori, and Nori, you did not do what you said you were going to do. She said she was going to send me a few of her drawn thread patterns, and she sent me this enormous box, and it's heavy. It is literally stuffed with patterns. Nori, you are so, so kind. But I wanted to show you guys because some of these I haven't seen a lot. They're, you know, they might be older patterns, but they're beautiful, and I haven't seen anyone stitching them, so you might want to stitch them. I'll show you some of the drawn thread stuff she sent me, because not only did she send me the patterns, but a lot of them she sent me the silks that go with the pattern. Nori, you darling. I love this one. This one is called Autumn Arbor. This is beautiful. Look at those autumn colors. Apparently there is an arbor for every season, which now it appears I'm gonna have to buy because I have zero self-control when it comes to seasonal stitching and series. But so she sent me Autumn Arbor, and it comes with all of the silk. This looks like it's a mixture of probably Gloriana and or this also could be Belle Soie silk, and then maybe some NPI. You know what, let me look at the back, it'll tell me. needlepoint ink, NPI, Gloriana. Yep, so I was absolutely right. Needlepoint ink and Gloriana threads, and then it also comes with some beads, which are behind the threads. You can't really see them, but they're back there. Oh, so beautiful. Nori, you absolute darling. Okay, so that's Autumn Arbor. I won't show you everything in this box because we'd be here forever, but I'll just show you some of my favorites. She sent me this one, which is absolutely beautiful. This one is called Be My Valentine, and it is a little sampler. And if you look very closely, the letters that are in the sampler actually spell out Be My Valentine. But there's two of these are the two Dinky Dyes silks that you need. And then, yeah, you only need 2 Dinky Dye silks, and then all of the NPI silks that you need. There it is, a close-up of Be My Valentine and the NPI silks. I mean, you crazy lady, what do you do sending me all this stuff? But thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am so excited to stitch this stuff. Okay. This one's adorable. This one doesn't have threads, but I love this one. This is called the Christmas Dreams Sampler, and it says, I'll come home for Christmas if only in my dreams. And it's there's a little red house, the snowman, and I think that's a dog and a cat. And then I'll come home for Christmas if only in my dreams. Oh, so beautiful. So cute. This one calls for NPIs and Dinky Dyes as well, but I'll have to buy them myself. Or I'll convert them to something that I have in my stash, but that's the Christmas Dream Sampler by the Drawn Thread. I think I've got one more drawn thread to show you, because this one's also beautiful. The Wildflower Garden. Oh, so pretty. Look at this. It's a band sampler. I'm trying to get it close enough so you can see. There's all these different flowers, and they actually have the names of the flowers. So there's and what they represent. And I'm not going to be able to pronounce these. So those of you who are gardeners, please don't laugh at me. I'm doing my best. We have Campanula or Campanula, which represents constancy. Tansy aster, variety. Coreopsis, happiness. Gilia or Gilia, affection. Lupine, imagination. And hepatica, confidence. So this is the Wildflower Garden, all of these different wildflowers. And it also comes with, these are all needlepoint ink threads. And it comes with a little bundle of all the NPIs that you'll need, because you don't need much of any one particular color. So they send you a little silk pack for the Wildflower Garden. I honestly, as much as I love all of this, there's no way I'm going to be able to, like, this is ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to be able to stitch all of this in my lifetime. So I might go through and pull some stuff out to do a giveaway for you guys, because Nori said that would be okay if I wanted to kind of pass along the love. So there's other designers in here. Look at this. This is by Perman of Copenhagen. Those of you guys who are sampler ladies, this is Sampler 1830. Look at that. Gorgeous monochromatic sampler. Sampler 1830 by Perman of Copenhagen. There's more drawn thread. So many drawn threads. There's some Cross and Patch by Emmy Bishop, which Cross and Patch, I have a few of her patterns. She is the one who does all of the beautiful hardanger. So there's some hardanger in here. There's some lavender and lace. Oh, this is a popular one. Lavender and lace Nantucket rose. So pretty. I don't usually stitch these fancy ladies, so I might give away some of these, because I know there are people out there who really love Mirabilia and lavender and lace and all of those kind of fancy ladies. Anyway, so much stuff in here, so many beautiful patterns. Nori, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for reaching out and offering that, because if anyone recognizes the fact that, I mean, we all have more to stitch than we will ever accomplish in our lifetimes. And we should just pass them along to someone who really loves them. And I really love all these drawn thread charts, and I really hope that I get to stitch them all. Probably won't be able to. So I might give some away to you guys to share the love. But thank you, Nori. Thank you for your sweet note. You were just, that was so kind of you. That's all I've got, guys. That's it. check out the description box below. I've tried, again, I've probably forgotten something, and some of the links might be wrong, but I've done my very best to give you links for everything I've shown you today. All of the cross-stitch patterns, the fabrics, the stores, my Amazon shop where you can find like the finishing materials like the styrofoam balls and the pinked rotary blades, and just I check the description box. If you're wanting more specifics on something, check down below. It's probably there. My email is also listed below if you have specific questions or comments that you'd like to ask me. I do try to reply to those within a day or two. And so far I've been able to keep up. If I get tons and tons of emails, it might get a little slower, but I will respond and try to answer your questions. So thank you all of you who have reached out. That's all I've got. This is my last update for July, because it's July 26th. My birthday is this week. My birthday's this week. I'm turning 34, in case you're wondering. I mean, I'm not afraid to tell you how old I am. It feels weird that I am going to officially be in my mid-30s. That's kind of scary, but it'll be fun to have my birthday. I don't know that we're gonna do anything crazy, but we always get donuts on someone's birthday, so my boys are excited that it's a birthday this week, because that means donuts for breakfast. My husband will probably make me a cake. He likes to bake. My husband really enjoys baking, so he's probably gonna make me a chocolate cake from scratch. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good week. I will have probably one more video for you next weekend before we go out of town. We are going out of town for a family reunion. I will try to film maybe a video so I can put it up while we're gone. If I can't do that, then there might be one weekend in August where I don't have a video to put up, but never fear, I shall be back. And yeah, we're gonna enjoy some family time, and we're gonna get to see, very carefully and very socially distanced, we're gonna get to see my grandmother. She's my only grandparent still living, and she is pretty healthy and well, and we're gonna get to see her at this family reunion in a very safe and socially distanced manner, but I'm very excited to get to see her. We haven't seen her in a couple of years, and who knows how much longer we're gonna have her, so I'm very excited to get to see her. And all of my siblings, and it's just gonna be wonderful. So anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you're well, take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!